stopper with great skill from him to wing the Mo Salah! Raheem Sterling! What a finish! What pure class from the Englishman!
Premier Talk, the English Premier League podcast for the fans.
Welcome back to the Premier Talk podcast, season 3. Daniel, we're back. I'm one of your two hosts, Andrew Melo. With me, as always, is Danny B, Daniel Barbuto, the legend, the myth. He's everything. We're back, and feels great to be back. Daniel, let me hear you weigh in.
Yeah, it does feel honestly fantastic. You can't be starting off first episode of season 3, getting my head big like that. It doesn't. And I'm gonna be big headed for the rest of the episode. It's on you.
Yeah.
I'm so glad to be back. I was telling Andrew before we started, I'm so excited for this new season. We got lots of content coming your way, guys. Again, I'm gonna be the first to apologize for a little mishap at the end of season 2 from last year. Busy human beings. University got a hold of us. Never really finished last season properly. We're hoping to pick up where we left off on season 3. And well, I think you have a few words as well.
Yeah, we've been MIA for a little bit, life hit, so we're back on track now. We're going to be putting out a bunch of episodes every week, so stay tuned. I know some people have been waiting for them, and we appreciate that. We always love all the feedback we get from each episode, so we're going to keep grinding, and we're going to get some episodes out for you guys and talk about what we love to talk about, and that's the Premier League. That's some footy.
So excited. Okay, let's start us off with our starting lineup. We're going to start us off with a nice little table shakedown.
Nice words there, table shakedown, like that. Is that a producer? We actually have someone behind the scenes now. I just want to introduce him to, another legend. He's a Ryerson University student as well. It's our boy Julius Rufa. Shout out to the boy.
Shout out Rufa.
Shout out to Rufa.
He's going to be working on some of our Instagram stuff. For those of you that follow us on Instagram, at Premier Talk Podcast. For those of you that don't, go follow. We've got new content coming your way. Thank you, Julius Rufa, for coming onto the team. We appreciate you.
All right, back to the starting lineup we go. So followed by after the table shakedown, we're gonna do massive transfers. We're gonna talk about some of the transfers that happened over the course of the summer.
Then we're gonna do some season predictions. As always, me and Melo with our hot takes, maybe not so hot takes on how we think the season is gonna shake down.
And then we're gonna talk a little FIFA 22. We got some video game heads out there, so we want to talk about our Premier League starter squad. You don't have a lot of coins right now. The game just came out. Maybe I haven't had the pack like some of your friends have had. So we're gonna do a little Premier League. It's a little sweaty though. I'm not gonna lie. We'll get into that after, but it's a solid little team.
It's always sweaty. Okay, so let's start us off here with our table shakedown. I'm just gonna run through how the table is looking right now. We're 6 match days in, starting our 7th match day, I believe today as we're recording. The 7th match day is about to start in 6 minutes. But kicking off from the end of match day 6, we got Liverpool in first with not a single loss this year. They're sitting at 14 points, top of the table, 4 wins, 2 draws, 0 losses. They've been unbelievable this year, which I think people expect them to be. I think they're sitting where people thought they would. We got Manchester City in second. They have 4 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss. They lost their first game of the year. They have 12 goals for and 1 against, and their 1 against came in their 1-0 defeat. Just unbelievable from them as always. They're sitting in second. Tied in second with them is Chelsea, Manchester United, Everton, and Brighton, all sitting at 13 points alongside Manchester City. All of these teams have been incredible. Of course, we're only 6 match days in, so there isn't much separation between top teams in the table. That's how our top 6 teams shake down. Melo, do you want to introduce the next couple? We'll run through the mid-table.
Yeah, so there's a lot to look through, right? Liverpool, I just want to give a little note on Liverpool. Liverpool have been fantastic this year. Not even domestically, but also abroad in the Champions League. They've been crazy, really. It was an amazing game, one of the best games I've seen in a while in a group stage between them and AC Milan. Back and forth action. Liverpool got a goal, then AC Milan came back, got 2, and then Liverpool clawed back and ended up winning that game towards the end of the match. And that was just a stellar performance, and that shows the heart, the team spirit that they have. and at the wheel is Jurgen, and he's always enthusiastic, and you see how much every win means to him. And that's what's so special about this Liverpool team. It's not just the 11 that's out there and some of the guys that rotate in. It's just the team spirit that they have. They're just a fantastic club backed by amazing fans. So I just want to give a little note there for Liverpool. But to go to the middle of the table, there's some. It's kind of weird. It's like we always have this conversation every year, and it never gets it's just the same thing every year, and it's Arsenal Tottenham. What are they doing? Who's worse? It's hard to pick who's the poorer team, right? We see Arsenal sitting in 10th, Tottenham 11th. Arsenal actually beat Tottenham last match day 3-0. They slapped them, which I was not expecting, and many people weren't expecting. So it's hard to decipher who's the crappier team there, right? And then you go down to the bottom of the table. Norwich, they still haven't got any points. 6 matches played, 6 L's. I would
Not a
bet
good
my
look for
I
Norwich.
would bet my life on them. I would bet my life savings on them not staying afloat in the Premier League. They're just terrible. I feel bad for Ozan Kabak. He leaves Liverpool, he goes to Norwich, and then he's getting his minutes though. He's getting his minutes, but it's going to be a repetition of Schalke in the Bundesliga. There, he was there with them as well, and then they got relegated. So
I have a quick question. Are you trying to foreshadow, Norwich, you're betting your life savings for our new little segment coming this year of some odds that we think you guys should bet on?
yeah,
Is this foreshadowing?
I don't know, but yeah, just to keep you guys updated, we're gonna have some betting segments. Daniel's a big gambler, so
I do not don't gamble. Do not do it. It's a waste of your money. Unless you want to bet your life savings like Andrew's going to here on Norwich. I think it's a good bet.
Yeah, I would bet some coin on them going down, but yeah, we're gonna have some odds for you guys this year, some betting predictions that we think would be ideal to look at. And then just some other notable teams here. Wolves. I haven't been too impressed with Wolves. They didn't get a point from their first 3 matches under Bruno Lage, the former Benfica manager I know quite well. Left Benfica on some bad terms. Finally got the opportunity I think he deserved in Wolves in the Premier League side. But as we say, it's very early on. This is an extremely small sample size, and the table's going to shift around drastically for sure. So I have confidence in Wolves, and I think that once Jimenez gets his feet under him, he scored his first goal after so many days without being in the squad. I think a lot of things will shift around. We see Leicester in 13th. That's unusual, but it's only 6 games in, so I think lots of things are going to shift around. So I'm looking forward to it.
One team that I wanted to talk about quickly, Crystal Palace. I know we're going to get to their new signings in our next segment. They got Patrick Vieira as their head coach this year. Absolutely massive for them. He's been fantastic. He's a Premier League icon, so seeing him come in and manage a team is great. He went and picked up Edouard, who we're going to talk about very shortly. They're sitting in 15th still. I expect them to do a little bit better coming into this year, considering
No
some great
expectation.
pickups.
No expectation for them.
Come on, you have to have some expectation. You got an icon coming in. I know, obviously, track record has showed that there's a lot of players that turn to coaches and they're not the greatest. But he's an icon of the game. He knows the game so well. I expect them to do a little bit better than they are. They're currently sitting in 15th with 1 win, 3 draws, 2 losses, which isn't awful. They have like 6 points. A win can easily pump them up to like 8th in the table, 9th in the table. So, I just a team that I want to keep a look at over the next couple weeks, see how they're doing.
All right, Daniel, do you want to shift over to the transfer segment? And there was a boatload of transfers this year. Some very notable ones. The money was splashed. This is one of the biggest transfer windows, one of the most historic transfer windows. Obviously, there's no involvement to the Premier League other than his link to Manchester City, but Messi is now a PSG player. So we've seen some massive names shift around. So I just want to go through some of the notable ones here in the Premier League. Daniel, why don't you start us off?
I'm going to start us off with my team. We got Manchester United. We're going to keep ripping Manchester United till we die. We got 3 massive signings. United came out and they dropped some cash, and it wasn't even cash that I think these players go for. I think they made their the uppers in Manchester United had a great amount of time and effort into putting in money for these players. They got Sancho for 72 million pounds, who last year I think Dortmund was looking for like somewhere near 120. So for me, 50 million pounds less. Obviously, he was injured for a lot of last year. That helps out. That helps him out a little bit. But 72 million pounds for a player of his caliber is still fantastic. Moving on to Varane, obviously a world-class center back. I still get some. I don't understand how some people are still very like skeptic about Varane. They think that he was carried a lot by Sergio Ramos. Obviously, I do agree that he was carried at Real Madrid because Sergio Ramos for me is one of the best center backs probably the last decade. He was absolutely fantastic, and now he's moved on to PSG, who again off league went to join Messi. That team is going to be phenomenal, by the way. And then the third and final, Andrew's main man, Cristiano Ronaldo.
See?
I knew that was coming. We got him for 20 million pounds. Absolutely fantastic signing. I don't think really they could have done any better with him. This was like basically a battle between Manchester City and Manchester United. They both wanted Ronaldo. I heard there was obviously reports that United came out and said, hey, we're willing to offer you less money than Manchester City, but he wanted to return back to United. So they got him, and absolutely great 3 signings from Manchester United.
Yeah, I would say it's a very productive offseason for Manchester United. This is the most active they've been in years.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll say that Varane, amazing signing just because Manchester United always lacks defensive stability. We know Harry Maguire's been, as much as we like to make fun of him and whatnot, and have some jokes, but he's been great. He's been pretty solid.
Mm-hmm.
Luke Shaw has really, after following that, the Euro Cup, he's really revolutionized himself as a fullback, and he's really established himself too as a top tier left back in the world. So in that aspect, they're great. Wan-Bissaka still, for me, I think he's still a fairly young player, but I don't know if he'll ever get there to that next level. You know what I mean, Daniel?
Mm-hmm.
I think there's some holes in his game. And then you have Lindelof that fills in on occasion, Eric Bailly. So they were missing that one piece at the back, and I think Rafael Varane was that one piece. They look a lot better defensively. They still had some poor results, most notably against Young Boys in the Champions League. That was an absolute shocker of a game. But that is the Champions League. Anything could happen. It's a midweek game. And then we go to Sancho. I haven't been impressed with Sancho, man. For 72 million pounds, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. And I think that there's this thing with British players, and I'll say it again. There's this false sense of hype around them. They're overhyped. I think there is some really talented young English players right now. I think Phil Foden's one of them. I think Bukayo Saka is one of them. I think Sancho is great. But not what they're making him out to be. And I think for 72 million, he has to be a lot more productive. I've had conversation with some friends, and they're like, you got to give him more time. I think that's true. Yes, we do have to give him more time, but at the same time, he hides on the field. I don't know if that's because Ronaldo's up top and a lot of the attention's on Ronaldo right now, and it's a big deal. But Sancho, I feel like he hides too much, and on the ball, he just slows down the play. He really does slow down the play, and I think that on Dortmund, he was very explosive, and we haven't seen that same Jadon Sancho here with United.
I completely agree with you. I don't think he's been as good as people thought coming into this year. I do think they need to give him a little bit of time. Dortmund plays a completely different play style than Manchester United does. Dortmund was very quick offensively. They were very explosive. You got a guy like Haaland up top. That guy's incredible, by the way. I think he's going to be the next big thing in the world, in the soccer world. I've always liked Greenwood. I know you're talking about big English talents. I think Greenwood's a phenomenal player, and he's been proving that from like 3/4 of the way through last year up until now.
He's a baller, and like you've seen it this season, he comes on or he's given the opportunity to play. He makes an impact. He's explosive. He runs at defenders. He's not afraid to show off his flair and the talent that he has is his footwork with the ball. And he scored a lovely cross net goal this year. We've already seen it. We were missing that from Jadon. We haven't seen it, and I like Jadon. I think he's going to be a great player, but right now for that price tag, it's not a good look for 72 mil. It's too much money.
I completely agree with you. Moving on to since we're on the English topic, we might as well stick with English. Lots of money transfer here. Jack Grealish to Manchester
Overrated.
City for
Overrated.
100 million pounds.
Overrated, Daniel. Overrated.
I can't say
Overrated.
overrated. I'm going to say
He's great.
overhyped, and they paid way too much money for him. I think they paid way too much money for him.
I don't know. I think Grealish is a good player. He's a bit above average for me, but he's not superstar level Premier League. Nope. You got guys like Heung-min Son, yes, for sure.
I agree with that. I agree. I don't think
He's not that level. He's not at that level. And so why would you give a price tag of 100 mil for Grealish? What's Heung-min Son worth? He's so productive.
Mm-hmm.
He's got an impact every game he plays. He's versatile. He can play a striker. He can play a left wing.
Play a false nine. He can
play anywhere. And Grealish, I think he's playing left wing for City. He doesn't have the pace. I don't know. I feel like he's better down the middle of the park if they're going to play him there. But for 100 mil, that's outrageous. And I think the inflation of the market is absolutely ridiculous. It's ridiculous, but that's what it is.
It's British hype. That's why players are going for so much.
It's British hype, and I think Villa for 100 mil.
Oh, they're chilling.
They're chilling, and they're sitting back and they're laughing because they lost their guy. He was their guy at Villa, but what do? They bring in Buendia, top talent from Norwich, who's proven himself in the Premier League that he could score even on a crappy team like Norwich when he was up here. And now they got Danny Ings. Like, so they reallocated that budget so cleverly, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I think it was a phenomenal transfer on their end. But for City, I think it was to show face for not being able to sign Harry Kane, and I think it was also showing face for not being able to sign Lionel Messi. So they wanted to splash the money. They have oil money, so they just have money sitting around there. So I don't know. 100 mil is ridiculous.
We're gonna move on to another transfer that's in the same price
range.
Daniel,
that's 50 million a calf. Okay, that's 50 million a calf for Jack.
His calves are massive.
Yeah.
Close price range here. We got Lukaku to Chelsea. I think this is phenomenal signing. Like, this transfer is absolutely amazing. If you look, and City went in splash cash $100 million on Grealish, and I think Lukaku is 10 times better than Grealish is. I think he's a phenomenal player. I think when he was on United didn't use him to the best of his potential. He went to a team like Inter, and you saw him absolutely tear up the Serie A. He was fantastic on Inter. And then Chelsea's like, why don't we bring the main man back? Because he did used to play on Chelsea back in his glory days. We're going to call it the glory days. He wasn't the greatest on Chelsea. He was still trying to fit in the Premier League. Moved on to Everton. That's where he showed his worth. Then to United, then to Inter. Now finally back at Chelsea. Andrew, how do you feel about this?
This is the exclamation point following their Champions League victory season last year. Lukaku was the missing piece. I know they brought in Timo Werner. Timo Werner's been great. And I think that, people give him a lot of bad talk for the goals he misses, but Lukaku will be that guy. He'll be the guy to be productive. He'll get you 20 to 25 goals a season, guarantee. I'm guaranteeing it right now. That's what you're getting for 100 million. You're getting a guarantee. You're getting a target man that is very hard to come by in this game. It's a very rare player that you got on your hands. He's 28. He's in his prime. He's great with both feet. He's a threat in the air. He's perfect for Thomas Tuchel's style of play. He's got two pacey attacking midfielders right behind him. He's got Kai Havertz, Mount. It could be Ziyech on any given day. It could be Pulisic. And they're just going to feed him the ball. And he's going to score lots of goals. And just he looks healthy because I heard a story not too long ago, a couple of months back, that when he was with United, he had a diet issue that the team doctor never found about. And then when he went to Inter, they got it solved. And he looks cut, like he looks fit, and he's got that pace. He's got his legs under him. He never had that at United for a long time. He gained weight, and he looks like a slow player, but he's got that pace under him now. I know it's a scary sight, man. He's on my fantasy team, just gets me points every week. No question. That's a guy that's worth that kind of money. If that kind of money is being spent.
We got some more foreshadowing from Andrew Melo himself. We got the fantasy. We got another new segment we're going to be coming up for you guys. Top fantasy players. We're going to be talking about who to buy, when to pick up, best players from that week. So thank you, Andrew, for foreshadowing that as well. I agree with you. I think Lukaku is fantastic. Like you said, I love the Inter, how they found out about a diet issue that he had, because he did. He looked, I don't want to say he looked overweight, because he wasn't. It's just that he looked too big. And Lukaku's always been like that. He's always been a big guy, big hold-up man, using his strength to his advantage. But now you look at the way Inter transformed him, and now when he's on Chelsea, he's very lean, cut. He can
He's
muscle guys, but
agile. He's agile now.
yeah, he's fantastic. I think
Crazy.
he's
It's
his
crazy.
body type, along with what Inter helped them to achieve, is fantastic. He's going to be a major threat in the Premier League. I think defenses are already quaking by the thought of Lukaku running at you at full speed. It's a scary sight, man. That guy's a monster.
Yeah.
Um,
Daniel, there's a bunch more transfers to go through. I don't know if you want to just, speed
I say
through
we
some
just
of them.
rifle through them.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got one big transfer, Konate to Liverpool last year, obviously with a lot of center back issues.
Thumbs
Liverpool
up
needed
transfer.
another center back.
Thumbs up. We'll do thumbs up, thumbs down.
Great transfer for
Thumbs up.
for
They needed the
Liverpool.
depth. Yeah.
Demarai, great to Everton. How are you
Thumbs
feeling
up.
about this?
Thumbs
Thumbs
up.
up. I
Yep.
like it. I agree. I think I
3
agree.
goals,
It's
1
great.
assist in 6 matches. Pretty good start for him. And if he keeps it up, that's a great signing.
Ramsdale to Arsenal. What are you thinking about this?
Thumbs up.
I'm gonna go thumbs down.
They needed depth at the goalkeeping position. I think Leno hasn't been good enough at times,
Mhm.
and I think that he needed some competition in order to push himself a little bit more because he knew he's the number one man, no matter the result. So he needs
Mhm.
to be pushed, and I think Ramsdale's a young talent that I actually respect, and I think I think he's got a good future, and I think he'll be the number one for England very
Hot
shortly.
take.
Yep.
Hot take. Okay, I'm gonna go I went thumbs down for 2 reasons. One, because I think this is just Arsenal trying to make up for that shocking transfer of Emi Martinez, because that was absolutely brutal on their part. Because personally, for me, he should have been the starting keeper over
Yeah.
Leno, and Leno should have been the guy that should have been on his way out. That's first off. Second off, I saw this funny stat. For me, it was hilarious. The last 2 times that Ramsdale's been transferred,
The team got
both
relegated.
years the team got relegated.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I don't think that's gonna happen with Arsenal. I think they're gonna have a poor season. And a lot of people's hopes are gonna be let down with the amount of money they spent this offseason.
Mhm.
But I still think he's a good transfer. I think he's a good transfer. He's very young too. Very young keeper.
Continuing with Arsenal, we're gonna go rifle off 3 transfers in a row. We got Odegaard to Arsenal permanently, finally. Ben White, a little bit of expensive there, and Lonkonga.
Lokonga, thumbs up. Ben White, thumbs down. And then Odegaard, I'll meet somewhere in the middle because I'm not too sure about that Odegaard transfer yet. But I think because they have Emil Smith Rowe, I think he should be getting the minutes. He's another young
Mhm.
English talent. I think he's rated just right now. I think he's shown some promise.
Mhm.
And I think he'll find his way into the England national team very soon as well. Another young player.
It's a good. I think I'm gonna go Odegaard thumbs up because I really did like Odegaard. I thought he was great. I think him playing along Emil Smith Rowe could be dangerous. I didn't like Ben White. I'm gonna go thumbs down on Ben White because I think that he was way too expensive for me. I don't know if that's just me talking. He was like what 55 million pounds for a center back. Again, going alongside this English hype, I'm not a fan of it. I don't think he's worth anywhere near close to 55 million. So I'm gonna go thumbs down on him. And then Lonkonga, I don't know what to think yet. So I'm gonna stick in the middle with that one because I haven't seen Lonkonga play, so I can't rate him yet. We'll soon find out based on this Arsenal season.
Danny Ings went to Aston Villa.
Massive thumbs up.
Yeah, smart,
Huge signing.
Smart usage of the fee from Jack Grealish. Very smart. Romero to Tottenham, the center half. They need a center half.
Another massive, great signing from
I think
Tottenham.
I think it was great. But for 60 mil, that's a lot of money. We'll see. 60 mil is crazy. I remember Manchester City a couple seasons ago, or only last year. Sorry, Ruben Dias brought in for 70, only 10 mil more. And we're gonna see if it's gonna be worth it in 6 to 8 months, right? So
Yep.
It's either gonna be a really good signing or 60 mil, what a waste of money, type of thing. So we'll see.
2 players to Watford. We got Sissoko from Tottenham and Emmanuel Dennis from Club Bruges, I believe.
Yep, he's a pacey player. He's gotten some minutes so far. I think Sissoko was a smart transfer as well. Will Hughes left the squad. So they needed to fill in that midfield, and I think Sissoko's an experienced player. It was his time to leave Tottenham. I think that he's explored that avenue, and it hasn't been really a successful one for him. So going for Watford's definitely a new challenge, and I think it's a good challenge for him. And I think it's a decent player, like with experience, to come into this Watford side and give them a little boost in the midfield.
I completely agree. I'm going thumbs up on both of them too. I agree. I thought there was 2 great signings from Watford. Leicester, man. Patson. I can't say his name. Preston?
Patson.
Daka.
Yeah.
Patson Daka.
He's a beast, and I've been following for quite some time already. He formerly played his football in Austria for Salzburg. Top player, pacey. He's got a knack for scoring goals. And he's gonna be a future striker for them. I know right now, Vardy's getting the minutes, and it's gonna be tough for him to see consistent games. But I think that with Europa League for Leicester, he'll see minutes. I think that with cup ties, he's going to see minutes. So it's a great signing. It's a good depth signing, and you never know if Jamie Vardy is getting older. He's getting a little bit slower than what he was before. But so I see him filling in some important minutes alongside Iheanacho.
Yep, I completely agree with you. I think it's a good signing for Leicester. He's going to score some goals. He's a goal scorer. That's what he does. He'll fill in quite nicely in this Leicester team.
Daniel, 2 signings for Wolves. Portuguese, Trincão. Great player. Great player. I've always liked Trincão. I've been watching him since his Braga days before he got signed for Barcelona. I think going to Barcelona was an interesting move. I didn't think he was ready for it. But for 30 mil, of course, Braga is going to say yes, you can take him. And it never really worked out last 2 seasons ago at Barca when he first signed. So I think this is a great signing. I think it's a great environment for him. A lot of Portuguese guys, yet another Portuguese guy to Wolves. You got a Portuguese coach to learn from with a great tactical mind there. So I think he's going to fit right in. He's been very explosive on the wings, especially he's getting his minutes because Podence has been out to start the season. So I really like that Trincão signing. That's a loan signing. And they also signed Hwang Hee-chan. I thought that was a good depth signing. Obviously, Jimenez is trying to find his feet, like we already said. That's a loan from Leipzig. He's a Leipzig man there. South Korea international. He's got some pace. He's got some strength. So I think he'll fill in nicely. And he's definitely a guy that I think's way better than Fab Silva. I already said. I have he hasn't been impressive at all.
You expected him to be good, didn't you? You thought he was going to be better.
Oh, never for 50 mil.
Yeah, he was too expensive. That was the thing. He was
for 50
way
mil
too expensive.
Ridiculous, and he doesn't get his minutes. And I think Hwang Hee-chan is going to be that guy that fills in, and he's going to do a terrific job. So he's much better than Fabio Silva. So
I agree with you. I think
thumbs up, both of those signings.
Both those signings for me as well. Thumbs up. Moving on here quickly, we're gonna go Palace Edouard. I already discussed him. Massive thumbs up for me. I think he's a phenomenal player. He showed first game of the season for Crystal Palace.
He got subbed on and he scored 2 goals.
Subbed on,
yeah,
double. Yeah, it was fantastic. So for me, massive dub for Crystal Palace.
Yeah, an L on that day for Tottenham as they lost 3-0. Tough result. But anyways, yeah, thumbs up for Edouard. He's a top talent, French international. Maybe we'll see one day in the French squad. Highly competitive, tough to get in there, but maybe this is the spotlight he'll get from after transferred from Celtic. So good signing for Palace.
I completely agree. We're moving on to Southampton. Vojnovic, I can't say that name. My apologies.
Many call him Lianco. They go by his first name, Brazilian.
Lianco, yeah, they do go by his first name. Lianco to Southampton. He went for £6.5 million. Southampton was trying to make up for Vestergaard departing to, I believe, Leicester.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think this is a good signing. Hopefully he's up to Vestergaard's standards because I know Vestergaard was pretty decent on Southampton. Hopefully this would be a good signing for Southampton. I'm going to say thumbs up.
Thumbs up on that one too. They needed the depth and they got it with Lianco. For 6 million, I don't think you can go wrong. It's not a big fee at all. So decent signing. Daniel, we're going to just blow through the rest of them. Joe Willock to Newcastle. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Permanent basis.
Thumbs up. He was great on loan. Now permanently dub.
Daniel James to Leeds. Thumbs down.
Really? You're going thumbs down here?
Yeah, 30 mil. Too much money.
It was a lot of money. I do agree.
That's the fee for Ronaldo. So Daniel James leaves. Ronaldo comes in. United's just dusting off their hands.
That's true. When you look at it like that,
I got this player off my hands. Hasn't been productive. He hasn't been getting the minutes. Hasn't fit in. And I get Ronaldo. Great business.
I want to talk just one rumor going around here in the league. People are saying that United got rid of Dan James not only just to pay for Ronaldo, but they did it so that Cavani could have his international number, which Dan James was running at the time, leaving Ronaldo to get his
number
famous number 7.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true. That was just a quick rumor going around just to inform you guys. I'm going to say it's not true. I think they just wanted to get Dan James off their books. They did it, paid for Ronaldo. I think they're okay with it.
Yeah, proper business from United there. Kabak to Norwich, we already mentioned it. Yeah, thumbs up for Norwich. Not going to make much of an impact. The team sucks. Timu Puki is not going to get you 20 goals. He can't carry you like that. So, yeah, thumbs up for them, but it's not going to do much.
I'm going to go thumbs down on this one. I don't think, Kabak, obviously, he's a youngster. He has talent. He has potential. Right now, I don't think he's been fantastic. It showed last year. Everyone's like, oh, Kabak, he's going to be great at Liverpool. He was shocking. I'm going to say straight out, he was brutal. Okay.
Well, Phillips got more minutes than him there too. So even Reece
true.
Williams got more minutes than him. So
I know he has potential in going to Norwich now. I think it was like a decent signing, but at the same time, I don't think Kabak's as good as everyone's putting him out to be. So I'm going to go thumbs down, even though it was a really cheap transfer. I'm going to go thumbs down.
All right. So that about wraps up our transfer segment there. Some pretty interesting transfers. And now we're going to go to our season predictions. We're 6 games in. We've got a little sample size, as we said before. Daniel, I just want to hear your sleeper. Like who's the dark horse this year for you? I want a sleeper as a team, and then I also want a sleeper as a player. Who's going to surprise us with goals and assists, or who's going to have a great impact? Yeah.
You know what's funny? My sleeper as my player and team are both from Aston Villa. We're going my sleeper, Aston Villa. I think they're going to finish the top 6 this year. They got a guy like Emi Martinez in net. He isn't my sleeper player. My sleeper player is Danny Ings. This guy is going to be lethal. He's already lethal in front of the net as it is. He's going to be fantastic on this Aston Villa side. This is my sleeper team, sleeper player. They're going to do great this year.
Daniel, I don't think that's a sleeper in my opinion. I think the top 6 prediction's bold. I don't think the Danny Ings one's bold. We already know he's proven himself on a crappy team in Southampton. Southampton, I don't want to bash on them, but come on, they're not the best of clubs, and he really showed himself there. So I don't think that's too bold, Daniel. I don't think it's too bold.
I think that Southampton did have some good midfielders, though.
We're going to have to start calling you not so bold Barbuto. Okay?
No, you need to relax.
You said Leicester last year was a sleeper, which, come on, they're Leicester. They've established themselves. But anyways.
But that was a sleeper. That was a sleeper to finish first. So
that's not a sleep. They're never going to finish first. Come on.
They had their upsets. Look at 2016.
That's true, but they're never going to do that. They're never going to do that again. They're never going to do that again.
Somebody will do it. Aston Villa's going to do it. No, relax. Okay.
Nah, no chance. No chance. So I'm going to go to my sleeper now. I'm going to go with my team. It's the same thing as you. I also have the same player from the same team I'm picking. So I'm going to go with Brentford. Newly promoted. These guys have been fantastic to start the Premier League season. They're in the top 10 right now. Their center half Pinnock's been fantastic. The Jamaican international. David Raya net, solid. No complaints from him as well. Just they're over succeeding right now. I think that they're going to slow down a bit because this is, a long season with tough matches week in, week out. But I think that they will finish top 10 for sure. I think they'll finish top 10. They've been great to start, and I think they can continue it. I don't think they'll taper off that much. And my guy that I'm going for my sleeper pick, he's had a decent start to the Premier League season, but I think he'll pick it up even more. It's Ivan Toney. He's their striker. He's their main man up front beside Mbuemo. Last year in the championship, he had a phenomenal season. It was roughly 45 games. And in 45 games, he netted it 31 times, which is an unreal stat. That's a really good, track record to have. And he also topped it off with 10 assists. So he's been fantastic, and he's really involved in almost every attack. Very mobile striker. And I think he's going to be a sleeper player to look out for. And I think that we won't see him on Brentford for too long. On Brentford for too long. I think he'll end up leaving eventually, and he'll find himself on a bigger Premier League side.
I like this prediction. I don't know if Brentford's going to finish top 10. I know right now we got a quick little sample size. They're not scared of top 6 teams, which is great, especially when you're newly promoted. They are the team that tied Liverpool. They tied last week.
Yep.
In a 3-3 draw. Ridiculous game. That game was insane.
They also beat Arsenal in the season opener 2-1. So they've been getting their results for sure, Daniel.
Yep. They're not afraid of teams. I think they're going to taper off. I think they're excited to be in the Premier League right now. They're not scared of anyone. Then when we start to see little bit more movement in the table, I think that they're going to drop down a little bit further. I think they're going to finish just outside top 10, but they're still not going to get relegated, because usually you do see a lot of times when teams come into the Prem, they get relegated right after. I don't think they're going to be one of those teams. I think they're going to stay up.
Daniel, who's going to be the top goal scorer this year? I want to hear it.
Okay, you guys know I love Barcelona as well. I'm a Manchester United supporter, Barcelona supporter. You know Messi is my guy. I gotta go with Ronaldo going to be top scorer though, because we got the Manchester United kid on as well. No, he's got to be my top scorer. He has to be. He's such a great player. As much as I love Messi, Messi is my ride or die. But Ronaldo is the second best player of all time. I know Melo's going to disagree with me here. He's the second best player of all time. He's a fantastic striker, lethal in front of net. This United team is very talented. I think he's going to have chances upon chances upon chances to score. And Ronaldo's proven himself that he will get it done. He will put goals in the back of the net. He's got to be my top goal scorer.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you there. Cristiano is going to score lots of goals. And that's because Bruno's going to be feeding them into him. Hopefully Sancho picks it up. He's going to start feeding him into him. He's just a target man at this age. He's 36. He's not running down the wing and, completing 20 dribbles. He's going to be in the middle of the box. He's going to be in the right areas to poke in goals. And they're not going to be always the most amazing or prettiest goals, but he's going to get it done. And we've seen against Villarreal this week, he got that clutch goal right at the end. He's that guy. And for sure it's going to be Ronaldo this year. If not, I'd probably go with Lukaku because the way he holds up the ball up front, we already mentioned it. He's just a well-rounded striker. So I would go with Ronaldo still. And then Daniel, quickly, assists and most clean sheets. Who do you think it's going to be?
Assists, I'm sticking with my roots. I'm going Bruno Fernandes.
Bruno Fernandes.
He's going to be trying to say a Portuguese guy like Melo. Bruno Fernandes. We're going to stick. He's going to be fantastic this year. He's been great since they've signed him. Such a fantastic signing. I know people were very skeptical at first him coming in to this team. He's been fantastic. He's proven himself.
Daniel, I just got word.
You just got word?
Yeah, Bruno Fernandes penalty just landed on the moon. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, last week that was a shocking penalty, by the way, since we're addressing that right now. He's gonna have the most assists in the year. I think it's gonna be between him and KDB. But I think Bruno's gonna upset KDB and he's gonna go and take most assists in the season.
I'm gonna go with KDB for assists. I think he's proven himself, and it's just a safe pick. He's going to feed a lot of balls into the front three. He's always that man in the middle, that number 10 that just free roam, carry the ball forward and, create magic. And that's what he does. He strings these unbelievable passes together. So I think KDB is a safe bet. And then for clean sheets, I think City, they're a very organized team defensively and they're a big team and they don't really concede goals. So I'm going to have to go with Ederson just because Ederson doesn't face, the shots that we see other goalies have to face. So I'd go with Ederson. That's a safe pick for most clean sheets.
Look at you. You're going back-to-back safe. I thought they called me not bold Barbuto. No.
It's not. It's their logical picks, Daniel. I'm not saying Aston Villa is going to finish top 6 because that's just illogical, So
we're going nice and bold here. I'm going to go with Kasper Schmeichel to have the most clean sheets. For me, he is such a fantastic goalie, and he's just been he's one of those players that doesn't get the recognition he deserves. He's amazing. I think he's fantastic. He's going to get the most clean sheets. He's obviously going to face way more shots than somebody like Ederson or somebody like Alisson is going to be facing this year because Leicester's backline isn't as good as those two teams. But he's going to be fantastic this year. As always, he's going to have the most clean sheets. A little runner-up that I put, again, a little bit bold, Emi Martinez. He's fantastic. So I put him as my runner-up for most clean sheets.
I see both of those guys saving a lot of shots, but just because of the teams they're on, I don't think they're going to be able to keep the clean sheets. But Daniel, we move on to our last segment of this first episode of season 3. FIFA 22 starter team for the Prem. This is a sweaty starting 11.
It's a sweaty starting 11.
Sweaty.
We figured, I don't know, most of our viewers, if you're in love with soccer, football, you're going to be playing FIFA. You're going to be playing either FIFA or eFootball, the new game this year showing up for PES. We felt like FIFA was definitely a way bigger game than eFootball is. So we went and
Football's
gave you guys
trash.
we went and gave you guys our FIFA 22 Premier League starter squad. I've been playing FIFA. I'm what they call a FIFA sweat. I'm not very good at the game, but I've been playing every year since like FIFA 12. I went and pre-ordered it, got the 10 hours. My team's looking good already. We figured we'd give you guys, because the game the full release comes out today, October 1st. We figured we'd give you guys a nice little cheap starting team that you guys can run with in the Premier League.
Yeah, it's valued about around 17K coins. Not too much money. Daniel in net. A lot of people dislike him in FIFA because he's just too good for the price he is. And that's Nick Pope, 6'3" giant. He's very hard to. The goalies this year are dynamic, man. They're really good. No complaints about the goalies. They save some difficult shots. So if you put a big boy like that in net, he's gonna make some terrific saves. And Nick Pope, 83 rated, can't go wrong.
Realistically, you guys can interchange him. Pope, since goalies are so good this year, anybody who's tall, Edouard Mendy, even Emi Martinez is fantastic in this game. They're all interchangeable. We're gonna move on to our back line. We got our two fullbacks, Reguilon and Fredericks. Fredericks is a lot more pacey than Reguilon is, but Reguilon is very well-rounded. Somebody who can pass the ball, dribble the ball, defend. His physical is a little bit on the low side along with Fredericks, but again, just looking at pace to start your year off, and that's what you need in your fullbacks.
Center halves, they're sweaty. They're sweaty too. They're both pace abuse center backs. It's none other than Nathan Ake, and everyone uses him every year. In Davison Sanchez, both respectively 75 pace and 76 pace. And they got some decent defending stats, very well-rounded center backs. 78 rated, 79 rated, can't go wrong. Couple K each for each center back.
Yep. It's a perfect starting squad back line. Moving on to the midfield here. We got two new guys this year that people wouldn't expect to be in your starter squads. We got Mwepu and Onyenka. Again, probably butchered both those names. You guys know my name pronunciation isn't the greatest. But both of them pacey, really pacey. Onyenka at 87 pace and Mwepu at 82 pace. That's what you want in your midfield. You want a nice amount of pace in your midfield. Both of them are very well-rounded as well. I know Onyenka can't really shoot the ball. Maybe he has two left feet. Doesn't really know how to shoot in this game. He has 58 shooting. Other than that, he can play as your more defensive mid. And then third midfielder to help out with your attacking more is Almiron. Great cam from Newcastle. He's proven himself. He's always fast in this game. He's always great at the beginning of the year, so he put him in the starting lineup.
He's a lefty, 4-star skills, a little skill moves there. And then in Wepo, I just want to go back, talk about him quick. He's 75 rated, Onyeka 75 rated, but these guys are like mini Ramirez's in the midfield. I remember Ramirez a couple of years back when he's on Chelsea in the game. This guy was gross. Like, you couldn't get by him. Those are these type players. And for 2-3K for Onyeka and then a K or two for Mwepu, you can't go wrong. And then up front, man, it just pays. It just pacey sweat, man. Like, this is terrible. I would break my controller if I got scored against this team, We're gonna go main man down the middle. Patson Doc already spoke about his capabilities in real life. Capabilities in game are pretty good too. No, it doesn't got the physical that you'd want. He's only got 71 physical. It's not the best, but this guy's 93 pace, 78 shooting. It's pretty decent for a starting striker. 77 rated. Can't go wrong. Can't go wrong.
Wingers, we got Daniel Podence and Leon Bailey. Again, new transfer Leon Bailey. We don't really discuss him, but he's fantastic signing for Aston Villa. Just want to put that out there. Both of them, absolute pacey. Podence can't really shoot the ball. He's like Onyenka, maybe.
Just square the ball across the box and Patson Doc will tap it in. That's all you need.
With that much pace up top, you're just going to be running by back lines, passing the ball across, scoring tap-ins. And that's what you really want from your first couple weeks of FIFA 22.
Leon Bailey, 4-star, left-footed. He's a beauty on the right side. Beauty. Steal player. 82 rated too, eh? Not bad.
He's always been good in FIFA.
I used him in game ready. Pretty good. My team's a little different than this. I got Ruben Dias in the back, had to, 61 pace. How did FIFA do my man wrong like that? You're giving a 38-year-old center back,
Pepe.
Pep gets 81 pace, 80 pace. What is that?
80
and then you're giving Ruben Dias 61? Come on, man.
Yeah, FIFA may have screwed up a little bit this year with their pace that they like to chop off some guys' legs. Then they added a third leg to guys like Pepe and Vertonghen and all those other center backs that have always been slow, and all of a sudden they're just the fastest center backs in the game. Anyways, this is our starter squad. Right now, it's currently 17K. However, the game did just release, so these players are going to fluctuate a little bit. Go pick them up as quick as you can, because the more people that hop on this game, the more demand they're going to have, higher this team is going to go. Anyways, we hope you like the squad.
Daniel, that about wraps it up for episode 1 of season 3. It was a good episode. You know, a lot to talk about. We're going to go more into the results as the episodes go on this season. I got the new setup too. Got my Pugba jersey on display. Got the logo in the back here on the TV. Got the neon lights as well. You know, a little extra flair there. We're no big time production, but we try our best. So,
of course, always. I'm gonna have a new setup coming too. Got a little studio getting put in the basement currently as we speak.
Big man in the studio, eh?
Trying to get the production value, you know, up a little bit. But yeah, we're hoping to have hopefully a studio going on downstairs very shortly. Hopefully by midway through the season, we'll have the studio up and running for you guys that come and listen on YouTube. Again, as always, we're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you guys want to listen. We're there for you.
We're also on Spirit Live. Got accepted for Spirit Live, so we're on there as well.
Spirit Live for you Ryerson listeners. Ryerson University, shout out, being renamed away from Ryerson. But we're gonna call it X University for you X University listeners. Hop on Spirit Live, we'll be there as well. Wherever you guys want to listen, we're there.
Yeah. So that about wraps it up. See you guys next time. See us on the socials too.
See you later.
See you later.